Welcome to Mo Money School, the school that teaches you everything that school should have taught you. I'm your professor, Chris Mo, and welcome back to my class. If you haven't enrolled to my class, go ahead and do that now. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button before we get started, because you guys are going to go ahead and learn a bunch of crazy stuff that the world is trying to keep from you. For today's class, I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys 4 investments that you should all start in your 20s. The problem with today's society is that we're too focused on every other thing except for our finances. Then later down the road, when it's time to grow up, we're in a big pickle, we started too late, and on top of that, nobody ever taught us that we needed all of these important things. Because society keeps us blind because they want to go ahead and tell us what to do, as well as keep the financing world to themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and break things down as easy as possible and as quickly as possible. The earlier you start on these 4 things, the better of a life you will have in the future. Now, none of these 4 are in a correct order, so just go along with me. The first one I want to go ahead and share with you guys is credit. Now, majority of us don't know anything about credit. The very first time I learned about credit was with my mom, and the only thing she told me about credit is don't spend money that you don't have. Besides that, I didn't know anything about credit. To keep it into the simplest form, credit is just a system used by the finance world to determine how financially responsible you are. Now, the way to determine this is by keeping track in regards of everything that you finance. It's sort of like a report card, but for the real world. Now, quick little tips about credit that I want to go ahead and share with you guys is, first, the earlier you start, the better. And the reason why I say this is because one of the determining factors for having a good credit is the average length that you've had your credit account open. Now, if you start earlier, say 18 years old, maybe even earlier, that time accumulates, therefore showing on paper that you're a responsible adult. For those of you that are having trouble or want to go ahead and start with your credit, there's a couple of options. One of the quick little options you can go ahead and do is get a co-signer or start off with a secured card. If you don't know what a secured card is, we'll teach you later, or you can go ahead and Google it yourself. Another cool thing about credit is that it helps build your spending habits. You see, the problem that a lot of people have is that they spend while having a really small income, which I've mentioned before is the big problem that we face in American society today. So you want to go ahead and stay away from debt as much as possible. But the main reason that I say everyone should invest into their credit is because it allows you to build up your credit worthiness. By building up your credit worthiness, it allows you to have an easier future, getting better payments on loans, getting approved for a home, getting a better car. You just get a better everything. And the reason for this is because banks love you. If your credit worthiness is very, very good, banks are going to give you as much money as they possibly can because they're not afraid that you're going to go ahead and lose it. So for those people who have really, really bad credit, good luck trying to get approved for a home, approved for a car, or approved for a loan. For whatever it is, the only way you're going to get approved for money is if you show people or show banks that you're a responsible adult. And the easiest way to go ahead and build your credit is just by paying things on time and early and not messing up, and being aware of the fact that credit is really, really important. For number 2 is investing into your retirement account. It's hard to believe that a lot of people don't have retirement accounts or are depending on the government to go ahead and help them out for retirement. One of the things I always tell people is don't put your money into somebody else's hands. You need to start saving for retirement, because the earlier you start, the more of a chance you have for your money to compound. For those of you who aren't familiar with the power of compound, if you start investing your money today, by the time you retire at say 65 years old, you'll have $1 million. If you haven't seen my episode about saving for retirement or becoming a millionaire, I go ahead and suggest you to go check that out. Also, by investing into your retirement account, you're getting into the habit of saving and spending less, therefore investing into your future. Because people are blinded at the fact that your future is actually today. And the reason why I say this is because whatever you do today is going to determine your future. Whether you're working hard, saving your money, or doing idiotic things, that's going to go ahead and determine your future. If you start saving today, by the time you're ready to retire, you won't be stressed out. You won't have to work, and you'll be able to do whatever it is that you want to go ahead and do. And for those of you that start early in your 20s and you really pay attention, if you start early, you'll be able to retire earlier than most people, because most people don't start saving for retirement until after 35. And by that time, they already have a kid, they have a mortgage, they have a car that they can't afford, and they're stuck in a big bubble. Right now, if you're 20 years old, you really don't have any responsibilities. I don't have any responsibilities. Therefore, I'm saving all my money towards retirement. Number 3. Now, a lot of you might be familiar with this and might not be familiar with this. What I will ahead and suggest everybody is to go ahead and invest in a high yield savings account. A lot of people are blinded at the fact that they don't know how bank accounts work. There's several different types of bank accounts, but the bank accounts that most people are familiar with is a checkings and a savings. But we fail to see that the interest rate that these banks are offering us are pretty shitty, which is why right now we're living in a world where everything is moving online. There's a lot of online banks that actually give you a better return. By investing into a high yield savings account, you'll be able to take advantage of the compound interest, making your money grow while you're not doing anything, as well as building habits towards your future. I know this is getting a little repetitive, but the earlier you start, the better, because your money today is worth more than your money tomorrow. And one tip that I tell all my students is that you gotta go ahead and pay yourself first. A lot of us fail to pay ourselves first. Whenever you get a paycheck, you should be paying yourself anywhere between 10 to 15%. You see, the problem with us is that we're paying literally everybody else but us. We pay corporate America, we pay bills, and the very last thing that's left is almost nothing. Therefore, we see it too hard for us to go ahead and start saving. But I kid you not, by saving anywhere between 10 to 15%, not only will you able to buy anything that you want, but you'll be able to see the fact that it's not as hard to go ahead and save for your future, start building your investments, and really live that life that you want to go ahead and start living. So if you don't have an online savings account already, by the bare minimum, I suggest you go ahead and check out some online savings account. By only having online access, they're able to offer you a better yield, as well as secure your money, because majority of these online banks are secured by the FDIC. So you shouldn't be scared to go ahead and invest your money into these online banks. And the very last investment that you should start considering is investing yourself. Anybody who's in between the ages of 20 and 30 should be focused on one thing and one thing only. And that is to become the very best person that they can possibly be. And the way you do this is by investing in yourself. By investing in yourself, you're able to get a high income skill that allows you to earn more money, show other people that you're worth their while, as well as live that lifestyle that you want to go ahead and live. If you start early, you're able to build on your habits, work on your skills, and really become that person you want to go ahead and become. Now, there's several ways that you can go ahead and start investing in yourself. I always recommend Google, YouTube, books, podcasts, paying for courses, or just getting a mentor. By doing all these things, you're able to learn early and learn from other people's mistakes, see what works, see what doesn't, as well as being on top of the game. I'm sure a lot of you have heard this by several hundreds of different millionaires, billionaires, or successful people, that the very best investment that you could possibly do is to invest in yourself. I can personally say that it was the best investment that I ever did. I've invested over $20,000 into myself in regards of books, courses, mentorship programs, literally almost anything that I could get my hands on. And the reason why I stand so strongly behind this is because it changed my life. And I promise you that it will be the best investment that you'll ever make. Besides that, guys, those are the 4 investments that you should start in your 20s. The earlier you start, the better. The more of a chance you have to earn more money, build on those skills, and really become that person you want to go ahead and become, live that lifestyle that you want to go ahead and live. Now, I know that I didn't go really into depth into all of these accounts, but we got a whole entire year full of learning that we got to go ahead and start attacking. So little by little, I'll tell you more about each and every one of them. I just wanted to go ahead and open up your eyes and let you start researching of what's really out there and what you should start thinking about. If you enjoyed this video and if you learned something new, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't already enrolled into my class, go ahead and tell the whole entire world about this, because Mo Money School is going to teach you everything that the school didn't teach you. And for those of you that want to go ahead and see more of me, go ahead and follow me on my Instagram, follow me on my Twitter, riseandgrind.mo. That way you can go ahead and see more of me. I post pretty much on my Instagram all the time, so you can see me there. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and DM me, comment below. And thank you so much for enjoying another class of Mo Money School.